criteria are very broad and extensive and recognizes someone who has truly changed the scholarly field. I'm pleased to announce that this year, the Distinguished Award for Scholarly Contributions to Management goes to Max Bazerman. Who apparently has his own cheering section. Max is the Jesse Isidor Stratus Professor of Business Administration at the Harvard Business School and the co-director of the Center for Public Leadership at the Harvard Kennedy School. In a word, Max is a pioneer. In reviewing his nomination, it was pretty obvious that Max has made significant and continuing contributions to understanding foundational processes that are essential to effective management and to running organizations. These include decision-making, judgment, negotiation, and more recently, ethics. The impact of his work has been felt not only in our field of management, but more broadly in the social sciences. As one of his nominators put it so succinctly, Max's beta is heavy. He has published papers in almost every journal you can think of. A committee member put his illustrious career in perspective by saying, "I'm not sure it's necessary to say anything other than he's Bazerman to justify a scholarly contribution award for this man. His work has touched many, many areas of social science. The world thinks differently because of his research and his ability to share it so masterfully." Bazerman and Moore's 2013 textbook on judgment and managerial decision-making, now in its 8th edition, is a useful roadmap to Max's scholarly achievements. The book opens with several chapters addressing judgmental heuristics and illustrate many of his foundational ideas on overplacement, on insensitivity to base rate data, on change blindness, and on joint versus separate preference reversals. Perhaps this research alone would have qualified Max for the Distinguished Scholarly Contribution to Management Award, but nowhere is it as impactful as the work he has done on negotiations. Max changed the face of how negotiation is studied and taught, essentially by viewing the negotiations process through a decision-making lens. This is best represented by his book with his former student, Maggie Neal, Negotiating Reality, which is now in its 18th printing. Maggie wrote, "Prior to Max's influence, and he was relentless, negotiations were often not part of our curricular or research agendas. Max changed this irrevocably. Personally, I found myself caught in a tidal wave of increased attention. I could not have been luckier. Now negotiation scholars are in the mainstream, and our courses have become an essential part of many, many business students' educations, all due, at least in part, to Max's initiative and leading voice." This relentlessness that his colleagues observed 2 decades ago persists today. His career is unbroken in its trajectory. He's been active and vigorous in his many years of contribution. And in fact, some thought the best was yet to come with his more recent work in behavioral ethics. As one person put it, in sum, Max is a brilliant, path-breaking, prolific researcher who exemplifies the ideal combination of theoretical and empirical skills that he uses in both the academic and public arena. He is the epitome of a concerned scholar who has dedicated himself to making the world a better place through hard-headed, pragmatic research. He is a perfect role model for young scholars, and he has taken on that role repeatedly, wholeheartedly, passionately, and successfully. Max, we thank you for your distinguished scholarly contributions to management and are very proud to recognize you with this well-deserved award.
That's great. Bring your own cheering section.